supposed, or it is an IMC meeting where the security cluster ministers sit together. Unfortunately, we're busy as we deal with diverse activities and duties. Minister Defense is in SADC region dealing with the disaster you all know. Minister Justice is with the President opening the court in Poison. Minister State Security busy. The Premier apologized, is represented by Ms. Linda Zama and the MSC, and almost all other components of the MSC are here. Well, MSC, Kaunda National Commissioner, the National Director of Public Prosecution, who has apologized to, but represented here. Provincial Commissioner Babu Mkwana is a representative from NPA Correctional Service that is represented here, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I address this media briefing this morning on behalf of the Interministerial Committee, which was appointed by the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, for swift intervention into the spate of political killings in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and to resolve the shockingly slow progress on more than 132 murder investigations in the province. The IMC convened its first meeting on the 21st of May 2018, where the status of the case was thoroughly presented, which led to the establishment of the new task team in July 2018, investigate all political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. To date, out of 163 case dockets, 8 accounts for murder, 24 attempted murder, 36 for intimidation and other charges. A total of 161 arrests have been effected by the task team with the following details. Those that were detained for questioning and released, 25. Charged suspects, 136. Suspects in custody, 66. Suspects out on bail, 32. Convicted, 27. Among those convicted, 27, 5 of them are doing life. And the rest are ranging between 6 months and 50 years in prison. Out of those arrested and all that, 2 deceased. As I've said, that 5 of those accused are doing life, and the others range between 6 and 50 years imprisonment. Those are 22, which makes 27 since the team started. And you must remember, this team started somewhere in July. It's almost 6 or 7 months, not even having finished the year. Ladies and gentlemen, while we consider these successes of 163 cases to be very significant, it is even more encouraging to note that from 163 case dockets, 52 finalized dockets thus far, 59 cases are currently pending in court, 52 cases dockets are still under investigation with the results of 27 convictions. On the 6 of the 59 cases currently pending in court, charges have been provisionally withdrawn against some of the identified suspects. I want to repeat that. On the 6 of 59 cases currently pending in court, charges have been provisionally withdrawn against some of the identified suspects. Among the 6 cases that have been provisionally withdrawn, some suspects have been rearrested and their cases have been enrolled in different courts. The task team has moved, amongst others, on the following high-profile cases to courts from different political parties. Was the matter of Cindy Somakanka. There are 4 people that are in custody as we speak now. Murder of Londi Wemhlongo is 1. Murder of Derek Mtetwa 2. Murder of Wandile Ngobeni 3. Murder of Sibuyiselo Dlamini 4. Murder of Kashana Mkhunu 6. Murder of Sibusiso Mbobo 6 accused. These are people that in court according to these individuals mentioned. And these individuals are across the political spectrum. You find all political parties involved in this, in these names mentioned here. There are other investigations that are conducted by the task team involving murderers of Chief Traffic Officer of Umvoti Municipality, Director of Alfred Duma Municipality, and the murder of Traffic Officer and 2 others in Plesislar. The following are the number of firearms and ammunition which were recovered during the arrest. Firearms 12, rifle 1, 9mm, 10, revolver 1, ammunition 140, magazines 11. All firearms have been sent to ballistic test. 3 of the 12 have been linked positively to murder cases under investigation by task team. A total of 77 cases dockets not related to the task team mandate, but linked with allocated political related cases were taken over by the task team. By the task team for parallel investigations. Out of 77 cases registered cases, 56 are court-going and 21 are under investigation. Over and above the allocated and parallel political-related cases, the task team is conducting intelligence-driven operations targeting unlicensed firearms which have led to 37 arrest suspects on 31 cases and 30 firearms were recovered. These 2 categories of cases are also allocated to task team to ensure centralized investigations and prosecutions. In an effort to create a safe and secure environment as stipulated in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, the task team has clamped down on private security companies within the province and commits to continuously conduct operations against identified private security companies. Some of the firearms linked to the murder cases have not yet been recovered. And the following security companies have been inspected and all firearms are currently confiscated and sent to ballistic testing. Owners of responsible persons of companies have been arrested and charged. These are the companies that have been linked with this kind of activities. It's your Vuko Security, Ground Force, Moshen Communities, Nkunzi Security, LK Security Solution, Wendlovu VI Security, Sizowaka Security. 2 out of 8 security companies is not linked to case under investigation by the task team, which means these companies are linked to some of the murders, attempted murders and all that, and these are the names, except 2 that are not linked to that. A total of 13 cases have been opened and 14 suspects arrested and charged in terms of Firearms Control Act and SIRA regulation, and 337 firearms from 8 private security companies have been sent to ballistic testing. Firearms will be returned back to owners upon completion of investigation, or if declared unfit, firearms will be destroyed and affected companies will be dealt with in terms of the relevant legal prescript. Members of the media, it is also crucially imperative to state categorically clear that the task team in its nature of establishment is investigating political killing in KwaZulu-Natal, where politicians have been killed, and at times some of the suspects are politicians, which makes the entire execution of the task team mandate to trigger political fireworks. Unfortunately, this has been misconstrued as being meddling in political factionalism of political parties using state apparatus. It must be emphasized that the investigation and subsequently prosecution of these cases are done in accordance with the rule of law and ideas enshrined in the Constitution. Conclusion, the IMC remains committed in delivering to the fundamental directive by the President of the Republic of South Africa to address the scourge of political killings. Furthermore, the IMC will continue to provide support to the multidisciplinary task team that is currently executing its mandate in KwaZulu-Natal. The progress made to date by the task team is highly commendable and evident to the commitment to serve with integrity, without fear or favor and prejudice. May I add that the task team is not here to replace and displace the ordinary policing that is continuing here. And I must make one clarity, because it has been said time and again, it's not true. This team are not hawks. Is a task team dealing with political killing. Hawks are in the province doing their work separate from, unless where they're supposed to collaborate on whatever matter. But I've heard it now and again that these are hawks. No, this is a special task team. Special task team. They have a lifespan that the provincial commission, national commissioner, when the task is done, they will see what to do with it. So I wanted to make that clarity, that policing is continuing. Other wings like Hawks are doing their work. This is a special task team dealing with political killings in the province. I mean political killings, not ANC political killings, not Inkatha political killings, all political killings. That's why there are several other political people that have been arrested for the death of other political activists beyond the ANC. That's that.
Minister, thank you very much for the address and for the point of clarity. I think the lessons because we've been dealing with these inquiries from time to time. Now we move on to the Q&A sessions. We'll take questions, and I request you to come to introduce yourself and the house you are representing. Can you take this? So I'm going to give you my first question. Chris will be my second one. Anyone else? I am taking the third one, and let's start with number 4. And then all of you.
Samgela myself from ANC. Minister, there's been several accusations leveled against you specifically in relation to what some perceive as an ongoing investigation. I'm not sure if it's an ongoing investigation myself, of the current mayor of eThekwini, that you are using state resources and state apparatus to fight ANC factional battles. Is there any substance to these allegations? And is Umamzandile Gumede being investigated for the murder of Councillor Mapungu Emlas? That's a direct question, Minister. And lastly, the issue of Umzimkhulu, Khehla District Mayor, Mluleki Ndlovu. What truly transpired in that investigation? Was there any underhand tactics from higher officers within the political realms for that case to be quashed and for Mluleki Ndlovu to walk free, as you say, provisionally withdrawn? Is there even such a thing as provisionally withdrawn in the South African law context? Thank you.
Chris?
It's more from Teresa, by the way. My question would be like, I see here there's 163 cases that were initially investigated, and I was told 161, they've been arrested for 161. I wanted to check the remaining 2. What those cases who were killed, right? Secondly, I wanted to know something here, because while we come in this site, we received an email from the NDPP nationally. So I think that there's a concern. There's a concern that, okay, the enrollment of Mayor's case and MM's case in Mzimkhulu, so that we were told, okay, they were enrolled on the same day and withdrawn on the same day. Now, the concern that was raised by the advocate, Patoi, was that why the matter was enrolled in the first place. Now, I'm sure here we have someone from TPP. I'm sure we can answer anyway. Thanks.
Thank you. Minister, I am from the SABC. Mine is, the last time you had the 2 briefings, there was an assurance, the Minister of State Security, if I remember clearly, spoke about witnesses and the fact that this task team had ensured the safety and protection of or witnesses in these cases. There's a case of a Mr. Shoyisa who had died under mysterious circumstances in witness protection program in the Eastern Cape, or PE, as far as I understand from the family. He was supposed to be a witness in the matter of Mr. Duma, who was killed in Nomboma. It's a matter that is, I understand, being investigated by the police task team. What would be your comment then? He was in police protection, he was killed. The report that was given to the family was that he mysteriously died somewhere, but the pathologist report clearly, which we saw that the family had, said that he had been murdered. The safety of witnesses then, and in particular in this case of Mr. Shoyisa, the family has had no response from the police to at least explain to them how their son died.
My question has partly been covered by some related to the withdrawal of charges against the required district mayor Mr. Noah. He was on radio this morning, Minister, and is very deeply angry, and because he's of the view that his arrest, when the investigators have not collected enough evidence, has tarnished his image. Are you not worried that that's going to cast aspersions on the work of the justice of the political faction?
Thank you for the questions. We'll now move to the responses. Minister, over to you.
Well, I guess one would be NPA. The figures 161, 163 will be provincial commissioner that will deal with that. The protection of witness partially, and we'll see how far we take it. Mayor of eThekwini, I don't deal with speculation. I don't deal with investigations that are not finalized. If there are investigations, I'll know when they're finalized. I don't do investigations. So Mayor of eThekwini remains speculations to me. Maybe it can be better answered by her. Thank you. Maphumulo is about Maphumulo and the Mayor of eThekwini. So I've answered that. I just want to end there, that we don't deal with speculations here. We deal with the matters at hand. The question of, I'm sure I'll answer this one once, the question of the Harry Kwalamea. I read that sentence twice because I knew this question was coming. I read that sentence twice, that 6. Maybe let me repeat the sentence. I read it twice because I knew it was coming. Where is that 6?
Page 2.
Page 2. Let me repeat it, the sentence. Of the 6 of 59 cases currently pending in court, charges have been provisionally withdrawn against some of the identified suspects. Amongst the 6 cases that have been provisionally withdrawn, some suspects have been rearrested and their cases have been enrolled in different courts. Cases have not been withdrawn. What has been withdrawn provisionally are charges, not cases. Certain charges have been withdrawn, not cases. And there are 6 that we have. So I don't know why there's so much interest on one of them. So there is that category of people that we have given, and it is so, like all other people that have been provisionally withdrawn. Angry, well, nothing much really we can do about that, about the anger. Fortunately, we're in democracy. Surely, people can do different things when they feel they've been wronged going forward. Some of these that have been withdrawn, they've been reinstated when, if I'm not mistaken, they said the evidence was insufficient. They did not say there is no evidence. They said it was insufficient, hence provisional. Well, I hear some guy talking about if there is something like that in South Africa. I think there is something like provisionally withdrawn. So you can just check on that. So we have a category of people here. That's why I would not talk about individuals and all, because that happens. It's nothing out of ordinary that has happened on this matter. Figures will. I want to answer the question of police and protection. Some guy vied for me one morning. He really vied for me of not protecting witnesses. But kind enough, I spoke to him. I'm sure he knows how things are happening. Protection of witnesses is legislated in South Africa. And the legislation said the Department of Justice will protect the witnesses as soon as they get in the program going forward. Not the police that protect the witnesses. Now, we know there are problems. We are discussing that with Department of Justice because usually people that lose most, if anything happens to witnesses, are police because they kill our cases going forward because they kill our witnesses. But as it stands, you are enrolled and the Department of Justice takes care of all witnesses. That is legislated. So I hope this will be the last time people asking why police are not. There is a legal framework where this activity of protection is happening in the Republic of South Africa. I hear this case. I know that is being followed. We spoke about it. Maybe we'll leave it there with the provincial commissioner. What happened there? I'm sure some of us we've got careless, and maybe you allow him to be careless, and maybe we did something that we became familiar with the situation and not very much aware what can happen in whatever form. So that will have to be corrected. That will have to be corrected going forward. But it's so vital. The safety of witnesses is vital because our cases, even high profile, even sensitive cases, they're based on the availability and protection of the witnesses. So I will agree with you that of the witnesses, we need to take an extra care on it. Lucky, there is the figures.
Thanks, Minister. I'm not a mathematician, but perhaps the statement, maybe the colleague does not have a statement in front of him, and I'm going to read it to you. Perhaps it's going to be clear. Let me read what the Minister read on the statement. It says that to date, out of 63 case dockets, 80 accounts for murder, 24 attempted murder, 36 for intimidation and other charges. Now the second line reads as follows. A total of 161 arrests have been effected by the task team. Now I'm going to leave it there. 161 arrests on 163 cases. The statement continues further. It says, out of the 163 cases, 52 of them have been finalized. 59 of them are in court. Now, at the math, 52 of them are still under investigation. It means they are not in court. It means nobody is arrested. So, it further says, I think somewhere towards the end of page 2, it made an example of one case of a murder of the one that we're talking about, Cindy Somakato. There are 4 people arrested in that one case. So the 161 can't be equivalent to 163. So I'm not sure how you get to add the numbers.
No. My question was, the two remaining cases that are not solved yet.
There are 50 cases that are under investigation, not 2.
Okay. I was checking of 163, 161, and another. The two remaining, I want to know where they will keep, because I hear, okay, out of 163, 161 cases.
Are you fine?
That's fine.
Oh, all right.
It's okay, Minister.
The other question? Which one is not?
So the NPA question.
Oh, okay. The NPA question. Okay.
Minister, I think I'll leave that question to the National Director, because she has issued a statement. I think the statement is clear when one reads what she states in detail and what steps she has taken in dealing with the matters. So to answer the question here while she's still dealing with the matter is unfair to her.
Yeah, I guess the report must be given to her first before this level give the report to public, because she has directly wanted that answer. It would be like me answering to you before I answer to the president.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister, for the responses and the panel. Are there any other questions before we close the session? No follow-ups? Samgelo, I see you. Anyone else? Based on the 161 and the 163? No. Okay. It will be Samgelo and Bongani, and it will conclude the Q&A session.
Minister, I'll be frank. If Umluleki Ndondo decides to sue the police for malicious prosecution, how would you respond? And why would your police officers and the police commissioner, Khehla, apprehend a man for an entire week with little evidence, if none whatsoever, to later on withdraw those charges provisionally? Is that not tainting the man's name unnecessarily when we have not done sufficient groundwork? And what does that say about the work that the police officers do on the ground and then hand over to the prosecutors? Why would a prosecutor arrest or the police arrest someone without having all their proper documentation and their ducks in a row and just rush to arrest someone? Is there no sinister political motive behind that? And on the issue of the National Director of Public Prosecutions, with all due respect, sir, South Africans do need answers on this particular matter. Yes, we have seen the statement by Advocate Shamila Patoy. But why would your team take someone without having those proper documentation that you need for successful prosecution? Is that not unnecessarily tainting somebody's name, where that stigma of murder sticks to them for their entire life, whether it's alleged or not? And then, lastly, Minister, on the issue of further investigations, or the National Police Commissioner, are you investigating any further senior politicians of the IFP or the ANC, whether it be mayors, provincial leaders, PEC members? Are those investigations there? Thank you.
Oh.
Now, look, no, the issue of witness protection. I know there's only one guy in the province, making out of noise, Zulu, one who's helping investigators in the issue of Makata anyway. The guy's been complaining, so it's taking long. It's taking long. He say it's not been safe since he spoke at the funeral of Makata anyway. But I know the matter was taken for review. Now, where's the matter now, Minister?
The matter with the public protector. Yeah, if it is taken for review, so it's in court. Yeah.
So when you hear more about that?
It's in court. Yeah, until court pronounces. So I can't pronounce something that is in court. Okay.
Before you respond, there's one more question from Nabila and then we close.
Okay, my final question. Going back to what Cele had asked about earlier, I think it's not speculation. There's already an application before court where her political advisor went to seek an order against the police for harassing and intimidating him with regards to, getting answers and investigating her. So we just need a clear indication. Is there an investigation into her or not?
We don't comment on investigations because you might be investigated yourself. So we're not going to be blocked by you if we need to investigate you. But the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa allows us to do investigation. If you go to your 205 on the Constitution subsection 3, tells us to prevent and investigate. It doesn't say investigate so and so and so. We investigate where the case takes us. We'll investigate up to this. So we're not going to come here and talk about the investigations until investigations are where we need to announce. Samgar, I can see you are becoming a spokesperson a little bit. Fine. Why don't you ask me about 6 people? Ask me about 6 people, Samgar. There who have been provisionally withdrawn, and some that have been restated, some investigation are going. And I refuse to take some people out of the category of the things that we are doing. So that's that. I made the point before now, that is democracy. Any South African citizen, not only Comrade Ndobe and the mayor from Zimkul, including yourself, if you feel you have been wrong, there are structures and there are steps to be taken, and nobody can take that right out of you. If we are charged, we are taken to court every day with this commissioner and myself. The last one, the NPA that is here needs to give the report to the senior, and South Africans will hear from where the question has originated. I hope even journalists will respect that protocol. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Minister. I think all the questions have been covered in this 1 and 2, and that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you very much for your questions and contributions. We have a great day further. Thank you very much.
That's why they are sentenced to be pinned here. Always upload. Oh, yeah. Yeah.